Good morning and hello everyone. Well, it's not really morning. It's like in the afternoon now. I'm doing something a little different today. And today, I'm going to be playing Spore. Or, well, not exactly playing, but mostly sharing some of my creations. As you can see, this one right here is actually one of my first. From my actual first playthrough, but I no longer have that save anymore. But that's alright. Now, if you don't know what Spore is a 2008 creature evolution game made by Maxis Studios, or Maxis, which is now, the game is now owned by EA, which kind of sucks. But the game still exists today, and it still has a very large fan base. When I was younger, I used to do nothing but watch speed-filled videos by a user called The Dark Edge. I recently was able to get, well, a few years back, I was able to get my new gaming PC with Steam, and I bought Spore. And of course, I found out you can't mod Spore on Steam. Or can you? I have no idea. It is something to do with Oracle and all that stuff. But in the next year, when Art Fight came around, I got to draw one of the persons who inspired me to play Spore, one of their creatures, the Jowie. Now, and they loved it. And then I recently found, soon after that, that Spore has an official Discord. That's pretty neat. So, without further ado, I'm going to stop yapping, and we're going to get into this. So, first on the list of my creations we have Joltiess. Now, Joltiess, as being yellow, you can easily tell. I originally had it based on a Joltik. So I look a little familiar, but not. I did get rid of the old design, but I had posted its original designs onto my Tumblr. I will find the links, and I will link those in the description below. If you do want to see more stuff like this, or if you want to support me, you can donate to my Ko-fi below if you like this kind of stuff, or if you want to, you know, commission me art. It's optional. I could be found on quite a few social media places, but this is Joltiess, and I also have its other forms, which are used in the civilization stages. And we'll get on to those. First off is the tribal stage. As you can tell, I went all out. And I was still very strong into my Pokemon phase. If you understand. If you understand. Okay. That's for us. Thank you, buddy. First, the walks seem like the other ones. The arms are a little funky, but that's alright. I did go all out with doing as what I could. But I still think it turned out looking pretty well. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words. That's the design for the tribal outfit. Move on to the civilization and space. So when I was looking at the thing, it turns out I didn't play into space stage. But that's okay. we still have the city civilization stage. First, I went all out again. Wait, you can't. Oh, you can still go up the edge here. It's like what? Oh, eh. Anyway, love this creature. The Joltiess. Joltiess? Joltiess? I don't know. Not even English. That's okay. Okay. And that's all of the Joltiess. Now we move on to the other ones. Sorry, buddy. Now we have the Mythies, which was my attempt to create my original species in Spore. I tried to fit it as best as I could, but I think it still turned out pretty good. Of course, they still walk the same. The wonky bipedal walk, but that's okay. The head also tilts, but that's okay. They can also jump. I put a lot of detail into the design, or tried to match it the best I could to my actual art. But because Spore limits how things can work, and I don't really know everything, and I'm not a modded user, I did what I could. I do have outfitted versions, so we'll move on to those. I almost forgot to mention we have a blue one. We don't just have a red one, we have a blue one. Of course, it's just a recolor. And we have the description, which I did not put a description, but that is okay. I don't know how to properly get some of my creations onto Sporepedia. Yes, the website still works. I will share it in the description below, because I do have an account and it was not easy to do, but I managed. Okay, now we move on to the outfitted. Okay, so far I just have the tribal outfit. So far. Honestly, it is more wise to the species. I mean, kinda. There's a whole lot of them. But this one we see is just a regular variant. There are more variants. There are so many, and if I tried to make them all in Spore, I think it would take up so much space on my computer. But I think the closest we can say that the one we have here is close to being a electrical Mythie. Since they are based on my character Sorny's design. Or at least close enough to her design. And being half covered in fur and half covered. Okay, recording cut out. That's okay. What was I saying? Crap, before I cut out. What was I gonna say? I forgot. I forgot, sorry guys. But yes, there are many, many variants of Mythies. And some that are actually extinct. And some that are very much endangered. Much like actual birds. A lot of them do have very specific jobs. But the lore goes back very, very far. And some just have preferences to how they just want to live. But I will maybe try and get into that at another time. When I actually finish everything about this species. Because I made this species back in middle school and I lost and a lot of the stuff I have never finished writing and I never writ down. So there's gonna be a lot of me just trying to piece together this species. Anyway, I do have another one who is related to this species, who is a Mythie as well. Now let's get on to it again. Here we have, I know what her actual name was. And I am not gonna look through my several hundred sketchbooks to figure it out. Anyway, that goes wrong. That is actually a chest crest. Because in her design, it's supposed to be a broken heart. I think it was Macy. But I think, to put it simply, Mythie that believes in this prophecy that she is the one who needs to kill this other person who is the reincarnation of one of the goddesses. I don't know, I forgot a lot about the lore. Her original design used to not have a dress. But eventually I wanted to give her a dress. I forget what kind she is. But now that I'm remembering, Mythies with big, fluffy tails are mostly snow Mythies. I think. Maybe they were fire ones. I can't remember. I'll have to look into that. But anyway, that's enough of the Mythie. Now we'll move on to the other stuff. Finally, we're on to actual random creatures. This is a nightmare creature. Yeah, I know, not that. It's not that creative, but creature. I did experiment with some things I learned. It doesn't look all that good, but that's okay. I was still very getting into Spore. There's not really much to say about this one. I just wanted to make something. And honestly, the multiple eyes actually looks pretty good. And with the horns curling in, I should try and do that again. Yeah. of. I have a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, it's ballet. Oh. That's the one. Oh, on to the next. Behold! This thing! Look at it move. Honestly, I just wanted to make something weird. I think that's what inspired me to make this guy. The Flugly. It's kinda ugly. But it's a little creature. Yeah. Just a little creature. Of course. The babies are just a scaled down version. They're little feets. Alright, on to the next. Next is one from another playthrough. The Woolwisp. Creatyre. Originally they were blue, and then they were yellow, then they were white, and then they were this. I don't know, it went for a lot of changes. At some point I wanted to have their tail have like a fake face on it. Or maybe that was for a different species that I did. As you can tell, I like making bipeds. It's very deer-like. Almost in a way. This one, actually, I did get to the space stage with. So, yeah. Of course, we'll show off the baby's picture. I have not done. Look at those eyes. Big old feet. Big old hands. Of course, there's the walking cycle. Their arms face for their legs. So that's okay. Then we have the outfits, so we'll move on to those. And here's the first of the outfits, which is the tribal outfit. I think I was trying to go with something that I don't know. Oh yeah, this is the face on the tail fitting. Of course, they'll walk the same. It's still got the hat. The way I do the hat is I take the cuffed one and I make it look like a baseball cap. Same here, buddy. Okay, now I remember. I made them blue in the end. Honestly, they do look better in blue instead of yellow and green. I made them look very sophisticated with the big top hats. But I think I didn't really change up the next one. that much, but we will see. Now in the space stage, I can see I really didn't change it up that much. But that's okay. Still looks good. And I found out that this is not the last one I have. I have a captain one. And here is the captain. I don't remember what much I did, but I think this was for the adventure thing, so I must have had DLC at the time. Of course I had the DLC. The only difference is exhaust on the tail, swords, different hat, different armor. That's pretty much it. Here we have another creature, and its textures are still loading in. Slug. This is Slug. There we go. Majestic creature. I just went nuts with it, so just a regular spore creature. I didn't realize the eyes are different. Weird. Okay. Not really much to say about this one other than trying to match the spore kind of thing. Doesn't really do much. He's just a creature. A funky looking creature. Yeah. Next on the list is John Miku. It's John Miku. I don't know what compelled me to make this. I wanted to make something aquatic, but I didn't know what to name it, so I asked a friend. They said John Miku. I just stuck with it. Anyway, this is John Miku. This is what a baby John Miku looks like. To be honest, the baby actually looks a lot better with the bigger eyes. It actually would look better if it was a smaller species, but I think it looks good this way. On to the next. Behold the first early creature creation. Because I like the early creatures. This here is a Soda Boy. Soda! I don't know what all you guys do, I guess. This is a little Goobert. That's... There is another one of these. So I'll show you that one. Like the evolved form of this little guy. Here we have Soda Dude. Same description. It has more arms. Now it has arms. It's poisonous. That's why it's purple. Wow. Little guy. Walk around a little bit. Do a flip. Swim! And that is Soda Boy and Soda Dude. Here we have Norevis. I don't know. I think what I was trying to do is recreate Discord. As you can see from the body structure. But I did not know how to mismatch stuff yet, so I just threw on random colors. So, yeah. I think I did give these ones outfits as well. So, I will go find those. So I did not give the last one any clothes, but this next one does. This is the Carrotpent. Carrot serpent, kinda. They move a little funky, but that's okay. This was the first actual limbless creation. Carrot snack. Of course, this is the Weepy. This is just how they move around. They move around like a weird snake. Or a little worm. And on to the outfits. First one. The purple. Despite having no arms, they still have arm cuff things. I like to think they use the poison spitter on their tail to hold stuff. Yeah, kind of boring. Into the residential space, I decided, hey, I'm gonna make them pirates. So, we went from this to this.
Hey!
So yeah, snake pirates. Snake space pirates. That's it. That's the creation. Anyway, on to the next creation. On to another playthrough creation that actually never got finished. Oh wait, this was the one with the failures tail. This is Scoliosis. I was trying to go for something very rat-looking. And still made it bipedal. Still looks like a rat. This one did not go far. As far as I made, it was the tribal stage. So, yeah. I'll show off the outfit I chose. Here's the outfit. I'm showing it for this one because, why not? Why does hat moves? And yes, I gave the tail a mustache. Why not? The next creature was my attempt at making a two-headed creature, which ended up being a little funky. Some creature that eats berries in the woods. I don't know. This is the Glontrelthes. I don't know how to say the name, but forest creature. Yeah. Its faces are a little funky. Don't mind it. Mostly it has a really nice walk cycle, and I like that. Yeah. You won't believe this, but this one actually has a space outfit. Which they look a lot more funky. They have adapted wings. Yeah. The next on our list before my recording cut out is the Mirrorbright. Another poisonous creature. But also a very hostile creature, despite its appearance. Yes, a very hostile creature indeed. The poisonous strange creature has eyes that stares into its own. It has many eyes. And this one is very particular, because they went from hostile creatures, but as they evolved, they were still hostile, but in their own way. How might this hostility go on, you may ask? Capitalism. That's right. Unfortunately, it seems I had deleted year ones, but this is the space stage. Yeah, they're more of an economic civilization. This one also has a captain. I outfitted them with the captain creator with a bunch of random stuff, so yeah. Finally, we've gotten to another creature from like the early land creatures. Meet LeggsMcGee. Legs. It's got funky little long legs. That's it, that's the creature. That's it. Just a creature with long legs. Here we have another purple one. But they are not poisonous. I don't know what the inspiration was, but they have wing tails. This is a Malbendrite. On wing placement, but still able to fly. This race is known for being built for speed. Travel. Not really much to say, but we do have the outfitted versions as well. Which is Farmstead. They are still capable of flight. Cool mech wizards, I think. And adventurers. Still can fly. Space stage. Can still fly. Just better. And then we have a captain. Still uses the same design. Now, onto some bigger little guys. This is Lil Cheeto. Lil Cheeto is very little. This is a little guy. Wouldn't you believe it? It stays little like this for the long end. Even being small, they perfect space travel. And they still move the same way. Let them go. On to the next. Here we have another early game creature called the Sloormp. The Sloormp. And that's it. It's a little guy. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. Here we have another creation of mine, where I just went nuts. This is a tower where it is a cryptid. A very tall cryptid. And it's very weirdly. This is not the only version. This is the light version. And there was a dark version. Here is the dark version. It's a little more spread apart. It has different horns. Also, it has this neck feather thing. Same kind of eyes. Same kind of creature. Just different variants. Oh, before I forget, the babies are very tall too. They look like little spiders. They're very thin. Here we have another little creature. The Fleta. I think I was trying to make a flea and a pig thing. But when pigs fly, random little creature. Next on our list is another race of humanoids. Equinlosi, I think. They're just bipedal humanoids, I guess. Honestly, they look better with the clothing stages, so on to those. Starting out as farmers. And then moving on to like some medieval military kinda. I don't have so much room on my desk, so.
Boop 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 boop.
The space stage form actually looks pretty good.
Huh?
And here is the space stage form. Also, I'm very proud of the hat. Sorry if you hear that noise in the background, that's my other phone. Now for something a little familiar, or at least a attempt to recreate something. As I said, attempt to recreate something before my thing cut out. Here we have the creeper. Look at him move. Look at him move. Of course, something I wish Miku would add. Hey, creeper. He's just sliding around on the ground. I don't know what I was trying to do with the leaves. But still, looks pretty good. Now for our first actual blind species. Which unfortunately I did not finish the playthrough for because it was very difficult. And I chose a difficult setting. But yeah, they got no eyes. They got big ears so they can hear. Yeah, funky walking cycle. And their Joltiess actually has a mask. Despite having no eyes, they will wear a mask. So it's like false eyes. I forgot to say the name. Dellillusion? Blind species. But yeah, another species that mostly goes for attack. Next is this random thing I made one night. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I made it. I just made it. I actually don't know how to set it, so... yeah, this thing. We have another biped. A spot on their back. And whiskers. And very long horns. I did not give this one a description. But yeah, this is Vulterius. Here we have Goobert. No description. But this is Goobert. Anti-cute. Just a little guy. Anti. This next one appeared to me in a dream. This is a Weaselfox. I said it appeared to me in a dream. It said purple, but I originally had it as purple and I made it blue. Linky creature. Here is the next creation. Turbodrift. Name is kind of a placeholder, but I guess it actually kind of fits. It actually does use its claws along the ground. So it's like a quadruped. Quadruped biped, kind of like a raptor. I think I used Goobert as a base. But yeah, this thing I'm actually proud of this. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty cool. And overall, good design. Next on the list, a bug. Bug species. This is the creature form. And there's the prep form. That's right. They're cowboys. Because why not? Why not make it cowboys? Why not? At this point, we start getting a little more creative. Kind of looks like a bird. This is Weepy. So, and next to Weepy, there's another form of it. Behold, the Weeper. Yep, chest arm. It's a little funky looking, but yeah. Now, we get into a series of creations. The Nymphs. This is the Mantis Nymph. It is the first floating one I created, which took a long while. How did I do it? I don't actually remember. But I'm very proud of this one. Yes, it moves weirdly, but it still looks cool. All of these forms derive from this thing. This little guy. This is a larval nymph. As I said, it's a larva. These things turn into a lot of stuff. The next nymph is the moth nymph. I originally wanted them all to be based on bugs, but later down the line, I kind of changed up that. Looks pretty normally. Can jump. And also, it was pretty difficult to get the mouth like that. But I think it turned out pretty good. Here is the last bug nymph. The firefly nymph. Look how big those eyes are. I tried to make it have an elytra, but still looks good. They also seem like birds. That is the last of the bug nymphs. Now we'll move on the others. Oh, we have another pig-related creature. This is the pig nymph. It's a pig. And before the thing cut me out, I said it's a pig. That's basically it. Nothing really special. It just looks like a pig. of a plush nymph. And thankfully the creepy and cute thing actually helped around with this a lot. Still having a bug-like appearance. Give it coins. Now here's something. Whenever I played a playthrough and encountered these guys, they've always been aggressive. But I still like this design. Sure, I think I made them a little short, but I did what I could. Now, the most detailed of the nymphs. Here is the kaiju nymph. I actually used the freedom command to make this one. And it is awesome. I put a lot of work into this. Way too much work. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this is the kaiju nymph. As you can tell, it looks like a kaiju from the old Godzilla movies. And that's its eye. Honestly, I think this one turned out really good. With how it's designed. And that is all the nymphs. The next one, the Vargskur. I was watching a lot of like Vine Sauce and stuff, so that's kind of what inspired the name. The creature form. And then we have the vocalization forms. First we have Vikings.
Hey!
That's right, Vikings. Complete with beard. They're very slow. I just realized that. Here is the civilization form. I tried to give them shoes. And here is the space form. They have goggles now. I tried to make their shoes better. This next one, despite being a soul-stage creature I wanted to show off, but it was also part of a playthrough I tried to do. This is the Rattius. As you can tell, it looks like a rat. But this was the cell form. Let me show you the form it became. This is what later became of this creature. And it was from a playthrough. Now, did this playthrough go through? No, it did not. Why? It's because I chose the highest level difficulty. And that's on me. It later turned into this kangaroo thing. It suffers, yet it's surprising. And this is right before moving to the next stage. And then chaos broke loose. It only goes as far as from the stage. That's how far we were able to make it. And no farther than that. So, R.I.P. Next on our list is this thing. the Walkish. Another bug thing. But also, it has no eyes. Those are ears. And honestly, I'm proud of this thing. It looks really good. It kind of reminds me of the Antiamorphs from Half-Life 2. I forgot to share this one, because apparently we had a space stage version of the Vulterius, and I did not remember. So, there's that. Here we have another creature. No description, but this is the Aquailus. Bug. They're like these bug aquatic things. Mostly bug. Funky looking. They're still pretty cool. Yeah. And to not forget, we have the tribal form. Well, tribal stage. The civilization stage. And the space stage. As you can tell, I tried to give them shoes again. This guy also has a jetpack. Yeah. This next thing is an absolute abomination that I made. This is the Birdman. It is hideous. And yes, the muscles were necessary. Very, very necessary. Extremely necessary. But don't worry. In the end, they become very distinguished gentlemen who now wear pants. Or underwear, I guess. Look how fancy they are with their mustache. And their shoes. Yes, very fancy. Next up is another avian. This is a Trekkies. Its color palette was actually based on a store I saw. So, we have a weird little raptor thing. Sing for us. Good bird. Next on our list is the Proto-Dragon, or the deformed form of the Proto-Dragon. That's right. This little thing right here turns into something else. It also moves around on one leg. Look at him bounce. Look at him go. Yay. Anyway, not a little guy anymore. Now his 2 legs. He also looks very tired. And it looks like a wyvern. So, there you go. Next on the list is this sperm-looking thingy. I don't know, I just use it as a placeholder for building stuff, I guess. Mostly for the tail. But yeah, that's all this thing is. Next on our list is Shell. That's right. You thought I wouldn't have a Sona in this game, huh? And yes, I decked them out. But anyway, it's a Shell. Kinda looks like a cat. Probably is a cat. Or maybe not. Could be a rat. But I had a lot of fun making the Shell. Little hands. Yes, they have paw pads. Here we have a creature called a lump. It is very popular to make little rolling toys of these guys. Because they are very well liked. Look at it. At this point, they decided to get a little goofy. Here's a slime. That's all this is. It's a slime. Scoots around on the ground. Here we have another slime. As you can tell, it's another slime. It does the same thing. Kinda. And here we have a slime crawler. It's a funky little creature, ain't it? Kinda cute too. Look at them. They look like little frogs, actually. But they aren't frogs. I see how you can mistake them for frogs, though. And here we have the chick. Yes, this is inspired by that new Minecraft update. Look at how it walks. But yeah. That's it. The babies look weird. The boys are so small. Here we have Wheatlet. This is just the form I worked with before giving them a uniform. But this is the creature form. They're a little funky, but don't judge them. Here is what they actually are. This is Meadows. They are a captain. They have a cape. Very cool cape. All of my notifications are showing up. I apologize for that. Yeah, they still move the same, but still looks better this way. Here was another attempt at trying to recreate an OC. Honestly, it looks very terrible. I had to get rid of a lot of spots. finished, which I might try to fix. It was not easy putting so much detail into a character. If you're wondering how the tail is done, I just take a leg and you just stretch it out. Into the last view, this is the fort. It's just a weird looking frog. That's all this is. This little thing looks a little familiar. Lucas. But I wonder. What sucks is they don't have the tail, so I just used a feather. Anyway, here's a platypus. A very specific platypus. I do have the creature version, but I'd rather do the actual version. This is Joltiess. They are mostly comprising of merchants and have once been their lives the Grogs. But now they repay other civilizations by acting as traders and informants. This is also no sea. Who I have yet to make the design for. It's a species, but I still have to make character sheet. Also, their neck is broken, so they're always looking at the ground. Yes, the floor here is floor. And here is my very poor attempt to recreate Ninja. I really tried. I really did, y'all. But it just didn't turn out as expected. But we got what we could. Anyway. Thank you. The tail part was the hardest. Here we have another weird avian. This time I actually messed around with the asymmetric thing, giving them unique hairstyles. Well, for the same beak, but two have different eyes. This did take a little bit of time. But still turned out pretty good. And here is a creation from my very recent playthrough. Look at it. Oh no, bro, it looks weird. This is the Badali. It's got a little hat. And it looks like a little weevil. And that is all of the Spore Creatures that I will share today. Hope you liked it. Till next time, be sure to subscribe and like if you actually liked this one. If you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe and follow. Anyway, until next time.